Welcome back, everybody. Mystical watermelons, water balloons, walruses, warriors. Whatever is inside your soul that you want to be attached to. So, today we're back with another installment of in-depth analysis. Got time to teach everybody what's good about the new characters, or at least the characters that I'm going over. So today we're going over Naruto Uzumaki, Power of the Fourth Tail. The new body Naruto that if you're in global, you see his raid information in the notes. If you're in Japan, he is out. So we're going to be going over him because I like going over interesting characters, and he qualifies as interesting character. So this guy is cool. Not going to lie. He is cool. But what's not cool is you got to limit break him. That is not cool. Bandai, I don't like limit breaks. Please fix that. So, moving on. Now, we're going to be comparing him. Well, let's go over his stuff, and then I'll talk about, the nitty-gritty stuff. So, Naruto, he's 3 tails, his character, and then when he uses his ultimate jutsu, he goes 4 tails in the animation, but his card is called 4-tailed power, but whatever. So, his cost is 80. I don't know his level 100 stats, unfortunately. I only know his level 150 stats, but we'll be going off of that. Because he is a card that I think, regardless of my opinion on limit break, he is a card that you guys should limit break. So, HP at 150 is 848 plus 300. You're looking at 1148. Extremely low HP. His attack is 1788 plus 100 for pills, 1888. So, really high attack. But that's because he's a long range. So, for a long range, this is humongous attack, right? You know, this is an attack of a, usually like short ranges characters come out with attack around this. So, for him being long range is really good. Field skill boosts attack by 75 to 150, and then buddy skill boosts attack by 95. Nothing interesting there. Now here's the jutsus part where they get all interesting. I'm gonna try to put clips of the jutsu so you guys can see the animations, but I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. If I can find the clips, I'll put them on. But here we go. So 6 chakra, 3.5 attack to all enemies in range. Current health is reduced by 5%. Ultimate jutsu, 12 chakra, 9 times attack to all enemies in range. Your current health is reduced by 8%. Now, he's the first character that takes damage upon doing damage, I guess. Like, not a counter related thing, but he does damage to himself. And now before I get into that, let me go over the abilities. He has 4 abilities, which is all 4 of them are reduced damage taken by 5%. So he does not have a 5th ability, which is very important to note because that makes his cost 48 and not 40 when having all abilities. So his final cost will be 48. So he's a little bit on the more expensive side. What else? Okay, we can start going to the jutsus. So 6 chakra, 3.5 attack to all enemies in range. The range is pretty solid, right? It's a pretty good range. I think it's like a medium, if like the same thing as someone who has medium attack range. I think it's about the same as that. And let's go over the damage. So with pills, of course, he is doing 3. Oh, I did the wrong multiplications. Okay, we're gonna have to redo this real quick. So we got 3.5 times 1888 to give us 6608 attack or damage on his normal jutsu. So we're putting that's a really solid amount for the range he has. And we're going to actually, before we move on to the ultimate, we'll go over to Sasori. He's the guy who I want to compare Naruto to. Sasori, because he's the only one who has double AoE on. Like, he has an AoE on his ultimate, AoE on his normal jutsu. So, and they're similar. Like, besides the range of the character, they're pretty similar in character design. So, Sasori's for 5 chakra, does 4 times attack in skill to all enemies in range, 60% chance of slip damage for 5 turns. So Sasori's damage on his normal jutsu, which costs 5 chakra, is 7792. So he's doing about 1100 more damage than Naruto on his normal jutsu. But Sasori's range is a lot smaller. For his jutsu, it's like a pencil line. I don't know how to explain it. If you know, it's like a thin line that goes across the map, but it's pretty thin, and it doesn't go across the entire map. So it is AoE for Sasori, but the range holds him back, but the damage is definitely higher. So comparing the two, whose is better? So, you know, just looking at the numbers, Sasori's is better, but you also got to realize that the free characters are never supposed to, well, I wouldn't say surpass, because, you know, all like Sasuke I think is an amazing character who's free, Jiraiya too, but normally the free characters don't are supposed to be a little bit under the pullable or summon, like the characters that you can summon, just because that's the way Bandai likes to keep it. You know, for them, if they make the free characters too overpowered, then less people will spend money, because there won't be any reason to spend money on the game if you can beat everything with free characters. So for a free character, Naruto has a very good normal jutsu. And then now let's take a look at his ultimate. We got 9 times attack to all enemies in range. Current health is reduced by 8, so that comes out to 16,992 after you know, the whole multiplying whatever. So we're looking at almost 17,000 damage, and this one's cool, right? So it's like a chakra beam tailed beast bomb that goes across the map. I'm not sure how. I know it goes across the map, but I don't know how big the height aspect of the jutsu box is, but I think it's maybe a little bit smaller than Shikakugara's or something along like Deidara's. Sorry. But now if we compare this to Sasori's for 10 chakra, 8 attack in skill to all enemies in range, 60% chance of slip damage for 3 turns. His numbers come out to 15,584, and of course Sasori's range is a lot smaller. Then again, Sasori has the, you know, reduced chakra cost, for example, but in this game, chakra cost, unless like there's not a big difference between 5 chakra and 6 chakra as there is 4 chakra and 6 chakra. So like between 5 and 6 chakra, it's not that much difference. But if you're comparing something between something that has 4 chakra to something that has 8 chakra, that's a lot bigger difference. So for this example, they're roughly like, the chakra cost is negligible, and this is where I think Naruto's ultimate is really cool. So, you know, he 16, like almost 17,000 damage is, you know, that'll kill anything, and that's enough to, I guess, put a dent in most bosses, right? For example, Minato, who everyone, you know, loves and whatever, does, where did I put his stats? Up here. So he does 17,000 damage, 182 to a single target, right? So he's doing literally, I think, 100 more damage than Naruto, who's doing it to AoE. Of course, this is where the whole 4 versus 6 chakra or 8 versus 12 chakra comes in. But you know, it's just cool to look at the numbers like that. So now let's talk about the current health reduced by 8 and 5%. Naruto has a lot lower amount of health, so taking, like, your overall health pool will be lower. So 8%, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I don't think it matters that at all that your current health is being reduced by 5 or 8%. I think it's such a small amount, it's negligible, and yeah, you barely notice it. So if you're unless you're taking like 10k, if you have like 10k health overall on your team, and 8% isn't even 1,000, it's not even 1,000 HP gone. So I think like you could just see that it's not that big of a deal. You're only losing 800 HP on your ultimate if you have full health, right? Because it's your current health, it's not your max health. So let's say you're at half health, you're chilling at 5,000 HP. 8%, you're only losing 400 health. And with this game being so focused on stalling, everyone's got a stalling character. You got Jiraiya, you stall. Stalling is everywhere. So you heal back everything really fast. So the one thing I don't know is if you can die from your own health reduction. That I don't know. So I haven't tested it out. I don't have the character yet. So, but if someone knows that, someone's used it just for the hell of it to try to see if they can kill themselves, let me know. That's actually pretty cool. That came out wrong. No, don't kill yourself. No, stay alive. But his abilities, that's the other thing I wanted to go over real quick. Okay, my bad. He takes, like, paused the recording and then kept on going while it was paused, so I don't actually know where I stopped. But I think I was talking about the abilities. Naruto's abilities, he has four abilities that reduce damage taken by 5%, so 20% reduced. Now, I don't know if that 20% gets affected when he takes his own health away from his jutsus. For example, if you had 10,000 HP, right? Use his normal jutsu, which is, you know, whatever, 6 chakra, 3.5 attack, and he reduces his current health by 5%. So normally he would lose 500 health, but I don't know if it works in a way where his abilities make him lose less health than that. So instead of losing 500 health, he would lose 400 health, for example. That's something I gotta check out, but just keep that in mind that it actually might be less than 5% or 8% of the health he's losing because of his abilities. So I don't know if they stack that way or not, but that's something else to take a look at. But I think this one's gonna be a little bit shorter of a video because he is straight up damage and doesn't have anything unique like perfect dodges to explain or anything like that, or charging up. But he is definitely a character that I'm going to limit break to 150. I do want a long range nuke so he can easily wipe out maps, and you know, I think raids are going to be getting harder soon, or hopefully, because right now they're too easy. You bring a Jiraiya or two along and you just win every raid. Kabuki, if you guys don't know him, he was able to beat the Orochimaru raid with just Jiraiya. Like, literally no one else. He brought a Naruto friend, but 2 characters he was able to beat the entire Orochimaru raid without using a single pearl. So, that's what I mean, like, the stuff like that can happen, so I want it to be where it's a little bit more challenging, but not, like, stupidly broken. Well, that's a mini rant. But thank you guys for listening in. Let me know who the next character you guys want me to go over, or what else you want to see next. Most likely it'll be the new Gaara that's coming out in the Blazing Fest, because he has an immobilized, like, he has an immobilized. He does more damage if enemies are immobilized, so that's kind of cool also. But I think that'll be it. Sorry for dragging it on. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining in. Peace out.